feeling low.
Well, hello, my lemonhead babies, and welcome back to the Lemonade Stand, or welcome if you are new. My name is Brianna. I'm a certified personal trainer, a big, huge biology nerd, and a registered dietitian to be. Today we've got another installment of my ongoing series, Stuff Influencers Say. In this series, we react to, debunk, and if applicable, have a good laugh at the stupid misinformation that wellness influencers and self-proclaimed experts release on social media to the masses. Before we proceed, if you love science-based health, wellness, and fitness education with lots of lulz and an equal amount of dry sarcasm on the way, why not hit that subscribe button and join the Lemonade Stand? We would love to have you here. Without anything further, let's make some lemonade. This first one that we're about to watch is coffee related, and I'm drinking coffee. EVOO omega-3 healing coffee. You know, even though I usually pre-watch these as I plan my script, I still sometimes miss stuff, and I miss, I guess, how at the very last part of it, she wrote healing coffee. Coffee is already healing on its own. It heals me and millions of other people spiritually every single day. So this person has been featured before in past videos. This is the self-proclaimed epigenetics coach with seemingly zero background in genetics, biology, or any related field. She's a super small creator, so, you know, I'm not gonna like share her handle, but something that I've noticed that she calls herself is the Gene Queen. Let's read the caption. Functional coffee. First of all, coffee is already functional. It functions to prevent me from committing first-degree murder. You'll never go back. Omega-3 rich coffee is the new bulletproof. I made this up because of my genes. Little double helix emoji. For real. My body and a lot of us aren't getting enough omega-3 fatty acids for our genes. EVOO coffee recipe. 1 packet of King coffee plus hot water or your favorite cup of joe. 1 to 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. My fave is the Trader Joe's Greek Kalamata, but they have been OOS, so I'm using cold pressed Italian. Oh, I guess OOS means out of stock. A few shakes of Ceylon cinnamon, hello blood sugar balancing, bland it up, and voila. I'm assuming she means blend it up. Not only will this keep you satiated, but the healing properties, antioxidants, and polyphenols will have your genes thanking you. I go for the King coffee because it's mold/mycotoxin free, anti-parasitic, antioxidant, certified organic, oxygenates your blood, and more. No crash, no jitters, no negative side effects. Try this recipe and let me know what you think. Okay, I'm an RD2B still. I am specifically a dietetic intern right now, which is part of the path to becoming a registered dietitian. And right now I'm interning with a wellness company, and I shadow a lot of the RDs in their virtual sessions. But one of my assignments this past week was to make an educational post for their Instagram. And in my post, it was 3 foods that you may want to add more of in your diet, and one of them was coffee and tea. Coffee gets a bad rap a lot of the times, and I really don't know why, because there is more and more evidence coming out over the last few years that coffee and tea can actually be very beneficial to your health. And one of the reasons, I mean, I'm not going to get deep into it, but one of the reasons is because coffee contains a lot of antioxidants. It contains polyphenols already on its own. So that's why I was reading this and I'm just like, you're saying things that coffee already has. And also, what the anti-parasitic. Your coffee should not have parasites in it. Is that a thing? Are influencers out here thinking that coffee that's not their fancy brand of coffee, like that coffee just has parasites in it? Anyway, so putting EVOO extra virgin olive oil in your coffee to get in your omega-3s. She suggested this as if it's a bulletproof coffee. You've probably heard of bulletproof before. It's a type of coffee. It's like a brand of coffee. Basically, somebody decided to ruin coffee by adding butter to it. And also, I think MCT oil, which is just extremely disrespectful to coffee in my opinion. I think Starbucks tried olive oil coffee earlier this year, and I don't remember it going over very well. I thought people weren't really having it. So in this context of like health and wellness, putting butter or some kind of fat in your coffee has emerged probably, I don't know, in the last decade or so. Maybe bulletproof has been around a little longer. I'm not really positive. Again, in this context, the purposes are for like weight loss and satiety. That's usually the reason that I've seen it being promoted. So in the case of this Instagram post, she says it offers antioxidants and polyphenols. Both extra virgin olive oil and coffee, like I just said, are very rich sources of antioxidants and polyphenols. I don't know why just drinking coffee on its own without adding fat to it isn't sufficient. And then maybe later, like when you're cooking your meal, why not drizzle some olive oil over your food? Like cook with olive oil. That's something that I cook with olive oil a lot. It's a good cooking oil. Or like drizzle it over your salad. That's a thing that people do. She said 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil. That would add, I think that's at least 200 extra calories. Yeah, so this girl's big thing is jeans, and I've said this multiple times when I've spoken about her in past videos. In my opinion, this just seems like she's trying to latch on to a new thing in health and wellness that's just trendy. For those who don't know, epigenetics is an actual field of science. It's an actual field of scientific study. But I'm sorry, I just don't feel like taking an online course, which is the one that I researched that she took, and based on my research is not even accredited, is enough to make someone an epigenetics coach. I don't know about anybody else, but I would just so much rather just eat a piece of salmon or take a fish oil supplement than put olive oil in my coffee. All right, so next up, we're going to learn how to lose 15 to 20 pounds. In just 1 week. And that is absolutely not unhealthy or dangerous at all.
If you're trying to lose weight rapidly, listen up. I used to be 285 pounds and I've lost over 100 pounds naturally. So I'm going to show you a way how you can drop about 15 to 20 pounds in just 1 week. It's called the 7-day liquid fast. So if you ain't ready, you better get ready. So these are all the ingredients that you're going to need. So pay attention. So the first thing is your protein shakes. This is what you need to pay attention to. Read the labels. You want to make sure that it is low in sugar, low in net carbs, but high in protein. Now you can have no more than 6 of these. Most of us will only do about 3 or 4. The next thing is going to be your broth. I typically do a cup of broth a day. I do it hot and I sip it with a spoon. If you need 2 cups, it is okay. This is going to give you your electrolytes. And then you can have your tea and coffee. This is what I'm going to be drinking. I'm going to have this laxative tea every single day right before bedtime. This is going to help to ensure a daily bowel movement. If you want to add sugar to your tea or coffee, make sure that it's a sugar substitute. Something like stevia, monk fruit, or truvia. If you need cream for your coffee, make sure that it's low in sugar and low in net carbs. Make sure that you drink plenty of water. In 1 bottle of water, I'm always going to make sure that I'm going to put my collagen in there. This is going to help you to keep your skin tight. And you know I got to get my apple cider vinegar shot in. This is going to help to regulate your blood sugar, as well as a fatty liver, as well as your digestion. And also it helps to suppress hunger. So if you're ready to start kicking this weight, drop me a comment saying yes, and make sure that you follow me for more tips. Bye.
So just cut your calories an obscene amount and just drink liquid, basically. It's giving Optavia. And you guys all know that I have mild PTSD from Optavia. I'm quite triggered by this, I'll be honest. So I just want to give credit where it's due. Apple cider vinegar for blood glucose control is not pseudoscience. Fairly recent and very interesting research has demonstrated that apple cider vinegar may actually help with glucose control. A randomized controlled clinical trial published by Clinical Nutrition ESPN in 2019, they determined that apple cider vinegar may be a beneficial tool for glycemic control. 70 subjects participated in the study. They all had type 2 diabetes and high cholesterol. They were randomly assigned to either an experimental group or a control group, and researchers wanted to observe the effects of 20 milliliters of apple cider vinegar on fasting blood glucose over the course of an 8-week study. And results showed significant improvement in fasting blood sugar in the experimental group when compared to the control group. So that was just one study, but it is far from the only one that has arrived at the same or a very similar conclusion about apple cider vinegar. That apple cider vinegar, and maybe even just regular vinegar, may help with glycemic control. Now, because I'm not a wellness influencer, I will actually cite my sources. I'll put some on the screen and I will link all these below so you guys can have a look if you want to. So, in terms of the other stuff, starving. I'm sorry. Fasting. Because in social media, it's called fasting. It's not called starving. Although I guess this isn't a total fast though, because we do get a nice little concoction of disgusting beverages if we so choose. Lucky us. We don't need to get into this, right? Fasting is not miraculous. You're going to lose weight with fasting because you were eating in a calorie deficit, okay? It's not revolutionary. It's just you eating less food, and the result of that is you losing significant amount of weight because you're a human. That's not amazing. It's not revolutionary. It's called biology and metabolism. And then, oh my God, what's gonna happen when you start eating normally again? You'll probably regain back all the weight you lost. And as a bonus, if you follow her diet, you'll probably damage your tooth enamel from that nice little lemon juice and apple cider vinegar concoction. So I'm done talking about this one, but I do want to say I have an assignment as part of one of my required competencies for my dietetic internship. It's due in January, and I have to choose a social media diet trend and basically like research the validity behind it, and then I have to present it to my faculty and advisors and such. And the trend I actually wanted to choose was fasting, specifically intermittent fasting. I find it really interesting that so many people, that fasting in general, no matter what kind of fasting, just has like a cult-like following. Like so many people are so obsessed with fasting and they get very upset, and I've seen it in my comment section when you say anything critical or negative about the practice of fasting. And I just want to learn more about it from a physiological level. In addition to presenting it to the faculty and stuff for my internship, I have thought about maybe putting it into a format that's suitable for YouTube, like filming it. I'll zhuzh it up and make it a little bit more entertaining and, like I said, just more suitable for YouTube, because I would really love to share it with you guys here. I don't expect it to get a ton of views, but that's fine. I would just really love to share the information with you guys. So, I don't know. Let me know how you'd feel about seeing my presentation. I promise it won't be too long either. I think I have to keep my presentation under 10 or 15 minutes or something like that when I present it to the faculty. So let me know how you guys might feel about that. Let's move on. So I have saved the best for last. This last one is probably the reason you clicked on this video. Before we watch it, I'm a little bit hungry. I think I need a snack. Let me just grab something real quick. I didn't catch that last one because I was eating the Skittles. Hold on, let's watch that again. Who else loves candy? Show of hands. That was good. All right, what's this caption say? The scary truth. Yes, because a mini bag of Skittles and M&Ms are just the downfall of society. So scary. Don't shame us for supplying information. Oh, you're about to get shamed. Listen, before we get comments from all the haters, we aren't telling you not to eat candy on Halloween. No, you're just trying to scare people out of eating candy on Halloween. Just letting you know what those fun-sized candies take to burn off. Risk versus reward. Risk versus reward is like if you're buying an investment property and you're like weighing out the options, weighing out the risk versus the reward. I don't know, buying stocks, that kind of thing. Eating a 60-calorie mini fun-sized bag of Skittles is a risk. Really? Risk versus reward. Have fun and enjoy the season. Just keep this in mind so one candy doesn't turn into the whole bag. So these two have over 100,000 Instagram followers. I don't typically share handles, but right now I genuinely feel that I have no choice. And I trust that none of you will go and bully, harass, blah, 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 any of these people. I really trust that you guys will not do that. But I just have to say it anyway to be responsible because I'm a content creator. So their handle is Yin Yang Twins. The disrespect to my middle school dance days. Yin Yang Twins? Really? Really? For those of you watching this who may have been born after 2005, these are the Yin Yang Twins. And I'm sure other millennials will agree with me. Now that that's out of the way, we can move on to the more pressing issues. So this post is a train wreck because it screams disordered mentality around food. Now, before you rage comment, let me explain something. I have noticed that the word disordered or disordered eating is starting to get thrown around a lot on social media. Someone will show how they count calories because they're trying to lose a few pounds. In the comment section, inevitably gets one or two, maybe even multiple comments comments from people who were like, that's disordered. Not everything is disordered eating. But in my opinion, as an RD2B, as a dietetic intern, as somebody with a master's in clinical nutrition, the mindset around candy that this particular Instagram post depicts is disordered. Allow me to explain why. According to eatright.org, and this page will be linked below, disordered eating is used to describe a range of irregular eating behaviors that may or may not warrant a diagnosis of a specific eating disorder. They go on to say, the most significant difference between an eating disorder and disordered eating is whether or not a person's symptoms and experiences align with the criteria defined by the American Psychiatric Association. The term disordered eating is a descriptive phrase, not a diagnosis. Symptoms of disordered eating include, but are not limited to, frequent dieting, anxiety associated with specific foods or meal skipping, chronic weight fluctuations, rigid rituals and routines surrounding food and exercise, feelings of guilt and shame associated with eating, and using exercise, food restriction, fasting, or purging to make up for bad foods consumed. Making up for bad foods consumed. Like doing 50 squat presses to burn off a 60-calorie fun-sized pack of Skittles? Could that fit the criteria? Well, if the shoe fits, feel free to lace that bitch up and wear it. Again, that will be linked below, and I hope me reading that definition helped clear some things up. Not everything is disordered eating. You really have to look deeper in the context. I want to do 50 squat presses because that's part of my fitness routine and it's enjoyable to me. I just ate this little fun-sized bag of Oreos, of Skittles. According to their little video here, it will take 50 squat presses for me to burn off this 60-calorie pack of Skittles. If I go to the gym later and do 50 squat presses, I'm not doing those squat presses with the intent of burning off those Skittles that I just ate. That's considered disordered. That is the difference. So someone wanting to lose a few pounds with a sustainable, healthy, modest calorie restriction, that's not considered disordered eating. It's not inherently disordered eating to reduce your calories with the goal of losing a few pounds. So I get what this post is doing. I do. If you have a goal of losing body fat, then yes, calories matter. And really, in a way, whether you're trying to lose weight, gain weight, or just, maintain being a healthy human, calories do sort of always matter for most humans. Are we getting enough? Are we eating in excess, etc.? The key though really is consistency. So this post went up around Halloween, hence them talking about fun-sized candy. Here's the deal. If every year Halloween lasted 6 months and it was customary to shovel 8 pounds of fun-sized Snickers bars into your face every single day, that's obviously not ideal, right? I feel like we can all agree on that. It's not eating a nutritious, balanced diet to live off of candy and shovel nothing but candy into your face for 6 months straight. However, Halloween is one day out of the 365-day year. Did you know that if you have lost 10 pounds consistently with a modest calorie deficit, been eating more veggies, been drinking more water, and just doing things like that just to be a healthier overall human, did you know that eating 1 or even 2 fun-sized bags of Skittles is probably going to do nothing? Nothing. It will do absolutely nothing. You will not regain the 10 pounds you lost over the last few months from eating 1 bag of 60-calorie Skittles. You probably won't even blow up and regain that 10 pounds from eating 3 or 4 bags of Skittles in one sitting. Whenever the discussion of consistency is brought up, it's important to take a step back and look at the big picture. If you've been consistent enough to lose 10 pounds over the last few months, or maybe you have been consistently meeting your nutrition goal of eating a bowl of salad every day with dinner, or drinking half a gallon of water every day, eating a couple bags of fun-sized Skittles one day a year, or even a few days out of the year, is not going to undo all that. That's barely a dent in all of the progress you made. Furthermore, if you do eat 1 60-calorie fun-sized bag of Skittles, you do not have to burn it off. And if you feel that you do have to burn it off, and if someone is telling you that you do have to burn it off, that is textbook disordered eating behavior. And it is textbook because I just read the literature to you. I personally give you permission to not burn off that little teeny tiny bag of Skittles you just ate. 60 calories in the grand scheme of things is really it's really not a big deal. It's really nothing if you think about it. If you've been following me for a minute, then you know I'm an avid weightlifter. I used to compete in bikini competitions. I don't talk about that much. So I've been in this world before. I guess the fitness space. I don't align with this aspect of the fitness industry anymore. because I've come to realize that it's not about health. It's just about being the best looking person in the room. Maybe that means you're the leanest person in the room. Maybe that means being the most jacked guy in the room, but it's not about health. It's strictly about aesthetics. So it doesn't come as a surprise to hear that a lot of people in the fitness industry, a lot of professional bodybuilders engage in disordered eating or have full-blown eating disorders. But usually it manifests itself in more subtle ways than like overt anorexia or bulimia. It can come out in certain behaviors. For example, believing that you have to do 50 squat presses to burn off a 60-calorie fun-size pack of Skittles, or refusing to chew gum because a pack of 5-calorie gum is too many calories, and you're afraid that those 5 little calories are going to ruin all of your progress. It's things like not allowing yourself to eat one cookie because you think it'll ruin your entire cut, but then binging on 50 cookies later on that night. It's using exercise as a form of punishment because last night you ate a cheeseburger and had a beer, and now you need to burn off that beer and that cheeseburger that you had last night. Little things like that. And whenever these people are confronted with about that problematic behavior, they'll just say something like, well, I'm just living a healthy lifestyle. But really what's happening is deep down, they have disordered eating, and it's coming out and manifesting itself in some of those ways that I just described, and potentially very often setting the stage for a full-blown eating disorder. So I want to read comments on this post because these two are completely getting railed in the comments section. And I'm honestly, I'm glad that people just aren't having it. But before we read comments, which will be the last part of this video, I want to leave you guys with just this one last thing. A lot of people in the bodybuilding and fitness industry, I have noticed, they look at the rising rates of obesity and they use it as a tactic to scare you out of eating a piece of candy. Now, I'm a future dietitian, and one of my areas of interest is bariatric care, working with obese populations, weight loss patients. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that obesity is not a problem. But I will tell you that no one is blowing up to 700 pounds from eating one piece of candy. Obesity is a multifaceted disease with several underlying causes, such as environmental influences, education level, socioeconomic status, even race and ethnicity can play a role. So I'm not going to tell you that being 700 pounds and immobile is healthy, because it's just not. But it is also unhealthy to believe that you can't eat one little piece of fun-sized candy without having to burn it off later. That being said, the obesity epidemic is a present issue. But in my opinion, the way to solve it is not by swinging the pendulum completely to the other side and making people afraid of very innocuous foods, especially small amounts of innocuous foods. Having a damaged relationship with food can be as damaging as eating 20,000 calories a day. And you know what else? Of all mental illnesses, anorexia has the highest mortality rate. And do you know how eating disorders like anorexia can start? By telling someone that they have to do 50 squat press to burn off 60 calories of Skittles. The eating disorder seed can be planted just by saying something like that to somebody. Just remember that. Okay, I know things got heavy. I hope you're doing okay if you're still here. Let's finish off by kind of lightening the load here, and let's read some of these comments under this post because they're a riot. This person said, the 2000s called and they want their outdated, inaccurate, disordered eating tips back. Way to push an unhealthy relationship with food and exercise. I agree. The Yin Yang twins responded and said, so what is outdated about facts that we share? It's all... I get the impression that English might not be their first language. It's all about true facts. Our accounts are about fitness and healthy lifestyle. What did I say earlier? If you don't be aware of food choices and how they can impact your health, it's your right to do. Why people don't say anything to Budweiser commercial during football game that it triggers people with alcohol addiction. Fact is fact. If you can't accept it, it doesn't mean it's not there. Okay. The alcohol thing feels like a straw man, though. This person said, literally unfollowing. You have a platform to speak to young minds, and this isn't how you do it. Heartbreak emoji. Yin Yang twins responded and said, we educate people about facts. And then for some reason they put 3 parentheses. The way how you perceive it is on your personal levels. You can't compete with facts. Monkey emoji covering his face. All right. Somebody else said, well, this post is getting you both the attention you seem to want. Good or bad, who cares, right? Yin Yang twin said, it's not the attention we pursued, but to educate about facts, nutrition/fitness. That's all. I don't know what is up with them using parentheses all the time. Somebody said, the scary truth is that you are pushing eating disorders. Yin Yang twins responded and said, how so? We just put the calories in exercises. What's wrong about it? Somebody said, no hate to the creator, but please everyone realize that our bodies burn calories just by being alive. That's another good point. Yeah. You could eat these candies as part of your balanced diet and not have to burn them off the gym/exercise should be used to keep our bodies strong and mobile. Yes, love that comment 100%. Somebody said, toxic way to look at food and exercise. Gives out guilt and shame mentality around food. Not a healthy thing to promote. Posts like this are sad. Yang Yang Twins responded and said, where is the guilt and shame? We didn't say don't eat candy. We just share facts from the package to give people awareness how many sweets they can subconsciously eat during holidays. All right. Well, there are some comments for you guys. My camera is about to overheat and I really want to be able to show you guys dogs. If you are still watching this video, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next episode of Stuff Influencers Say. Queen Lemon, over and out. You did so good, baby.